Hi, and welcome to Wargamer Online live chat. And we've got a whole bunch of people with us tonight. This is Luke, and on with us tonight we've got Mike. Rachel.
Hi.
Wargamer Viking.
Fine.
And the consummate professional, Sam.
Hello. Did you say continent professional?
Consummate.
Consummate.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this evening's chat, our weekly chat that we're doing. Nice intro there, Phil. Thank you very much for that.
That's okay.
I know it's quite difficult with Luke next year.
But yeah, plus you didn't say start. That's always, normally you go.
No,
like,
the 3-minute countdown wasn't enough, was it? Not enough. Never is. Right, we're going to go because we've got so much going off today. We've got lots to go through, and yeah, there's a bunch of us, so we're going to be pretty quick with this. So we're going to start with the hobby update. We're going to go to Phil straight away. What have you been doing this week, Phil?
Well, mainly working on the website, which I know kind of classed as hobby, doesn't it? So there's been a lot of work going on to the website. We've been really sort of tweaking a lot of the navigation, a lot of the structure of the website, working on a section for premium and freemium giveaways, as well as a shop and a community section to organise events and stuff. So loads more, but I'm going to do a bit of a video later in the week to kind of talk everybody through that. Other than that, of course, at the weekend, we were at the Leamington Gaming Club's tournament, and we were filming there, weren't we, for the whole day. So it was a pretty tiring day, but we had a hell of a lot of fun, met some great gamers and some beautiful armies. Yeah, it was proper tournament competitive. There wasn't many friendly lists in there, so it was quite fun to see that side of the game again. Because generally when I play, it's obviously it's Eldar, so they're pretty much a low-powered army, and I just like to take it easy with just no formations and things. And these guys are showing up with just this formation within formation. But it was great fun. It was really good fun to do, and we saw lots of new toys down there as well, didn't we? So.
Yeah, we've got quite a lot of footage. We've got a video which will go up of the actual event as an overview. We're going to have some cool panning shots and some music just to show off that, and we're also going to have showcases of a bunch of the armies that were taking part, and they're all going to go up on the website as soon as I get around to finishing the editing on them, or starting the editing, because I haven't even started it yet. But it was some very nice stuff there. Okay, let's just go through before we go on to the next person. I'm going to say hello to the people in the chat, because there's quite a few people. We've got the Wargamer Viking. Hello, Wargamer Viking.
Oh, what a nice guy.
Steve Forrest, Dance Macabre, Tom Wilson, Mr. Cragham Gaming, The Johnsonator, Basic Miniature Painting, Frost and Fist. So we've got quite a few people already. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful, fine evening. Let's go on to Rachel. What have you been doing this week? Because you've been doing hobby.
I actually have. Makes a change, doesn't it?
Yes.
So me and Sam had a game. It was an Age of Sigmar game, and that was on Tuesday, yesterday. So we, it was quite a small force against another small force, just 1,000 points.
Don't give away the ending though, because we've got to do a battle report on it.
Yeah, good point. And so won. Spoiler alert. So basically, it was
the Wookiee.
Or me. But yeah, no, it's good fun. I actually did something for once. And by the way, Luke, I know we said don't mess it up today and don't swear, but you can do things. You don't just have to sit there frozen.
No, I told him not to talk, so he's actually doing it. He's just sitting there next to Phil.
Pressure.
I can't speak.
Oh, Luke.
Oh, look at this. Remy's just joined. Underdog has just got back from A&E. Where have we just been, Rachel?
A&E.
A&E.
Okay, okay. So on Thursday, I hurt my ankle, and I've been just, taking it like a man all week. And then I take off my sock today, and Sam sees it and goes, and bearing in mind, he's been taking the mick out of me all week, just saying I'm whining and whatever, and I keep trying to show him my foot, and he won't look at it. So I take my sock off, and he looks at it, and he goes, "Ooh, shouldn't look like that." So he goes, I'm like, Pooping myself. Going, why? What's wrong with it? It's like double the size that it should be. But it's okay.
Yeah.
We've had it checked out. It's not broken.
I said the word gangrene and her face went like white. So we rushed. We rang 111. They said come to hospital. So we went to hospital and she's fine. So we're back in time for the stream, which was amazing.
Just to say, Sam, Underdog's just put on there. He twisted his ankle.
Oh, look at that!
Same thing.
Were you drunk as well?
Yeah, Rachel, we don't drink.
Yeah, no, we don't do that.
Okay, so we played a game of Age of Sigmar, Rachel. It was wonderful. We've got the battle report coming up either this Sunday or next Sunday, depending on which battle report we're going to put up first. But that will go up fairly soon. It was a lot of fun, and we're definitely going to get some more done.
Sam, I forgot. I did actually play a game as well, which was my first game in about 3 or 4 weeks at least. So I did Space Wolf versus Eldar with Jack.
Okay.
And we recorded that for a battle report as well, and that was a great fun game. Absolutely brilliant. I forgot all about that, and I've been editing it as well, so I don't know how I forgot all about it.
So we've got 3 battle reports on the way in the next 3 weeks, and then we're going to film some more. We've got so much to do, so there's exciting games. Underdog fell off the loo at work and got to take tablets and wrap it up. Interesting times.
Okay, that's better than my story.
Right, let's go on. Okay, Spud, what have you been up to this week?
My brain. So on Monday, I went to Nottingham and we went to see Warlord Games. Did some filming up there of like the new Test of Honor game. We also met Rick Priestley. No big deal. Paul Sawyer. Everyone, all famous people that were up there. Got loads of toys. Got some more models from a Japanese. There's like a game that I play, I was going to start playing, called Twilight. I got my new faction, so I built all them this week. I got the Chilcon Viking model, without Steve knowing. Don't tell Steve. Then we met Footstar Miniatures as well, got some stuff from them. And then today I played my first game of 40k in like 5 or 6 years. I went to Games Workshop with my friend and played some games, and I got absolutely battered everywhere. But it's pretty true, for this. I didn't know that you had to take the closest off, so I just stood all my men wherever I wanted, and they were like, yeah, they're all dead. I was like, ah.
Yeah,
anyway.
Expect that.
Yeah. But I liked how it went. I know I'm going to change rule in a few months, but it's still pretty cool. I didn't have time to get the Sigma tutorial, so maybe next week if I can be bothered.
That's fair enough. Tom's put, John Snater's put Wargamer Viking looks, yeah. You're on flu drugs, aren't you, at the minute?
Oh, yeah, I'm on all sorts.
Got a really bad cold, but he's soldiering on like a proper Viking, so. Brilliant stuff. Right, Test of Honor. Mike, what have you been doing? Test of Honor.
So, yesterday me and Sam did some unboxings for Test of Honor and Wild West Exodus, I think it's called.
Yeah, your microphone's in your eye. Is that okay?
It's just so I'm not too loud then.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
It looks like a pirate.
Yeah. So we did some recordings on that yesterday, so they'll be coming out in the future. I've been working on some more Skaven stuff and then also building the Test of Honor box. So I've been quite busy.
It's a nice looking box though, isn't it?
Really nice models.
I'm properly excited by all the Warlord models that they've got, all of the different games. There's so many. It's a little bit ridiculous how many good miniatures there are on there. So we've got those two unboxings coming out for that as well. There's some really good content in there. And that will probably be on Saturday. Well, it's every Saturday we're going to do unboxings. Remy, any painting tutorial coming? Depends what sort of painting tutorial you're talking about. Every Friday there's a premium one on the website. So if you've got a premium subscription, you get access to them every week. And at the minute we're releasing 2 premium painting tutorials, so there's another one on the Monday as well. So there's quite a few going up premium-wise. In terms of YouTube, there's free ones that we're putting up at random points at the moment, but we're aiming to get a schedule out, so it's going to be regular each week. So you'll have the same sort of content every week. But there is a lot that I'm still editing and chucking out. But if there's anything in particular you're after, just let me know, and I'll see if I've already got it filmed and I can put it out. And if not, we'll chuck it on the list and film it. So yeah, Mike, unboxings. Anything else?
working on the scaling and other that, that's been about it, I think.
Cool. Well, that's good stuff. Who's left? Oh, it's me, isn't it? Finished 1,000 points of Seraphon for Rachel. So the Temple Guard are the last ones to be done. I rushed them. I was up till 5 o'clock in the morning trying to finish them, and they still didn't get done. I did base coats and a wash, but they were enough to play games with, weren't they, Rachel?
Yep, did the job.
So they're fine. We also had a Friday hobby hangout last Friday, which was really good fun. We're going to do that again this Friday, me and Mike are. So it's going to be at 8 o'clock because we're going to try and release all of our content at 8 o'clock in the evening. But it's pretty much going to be me and Mike just sitting, chatting on Hangouts and painting something at the same time. And we're just going to chat to whoever is in the chat box at the time. We've got a bunch of topics that people have already asked us, so we're going to answer some of those, but we'll answer any questions that people have live as well. So that's this Friday at 8 o'clock. And that's it for the hobby update. So what else have we got? Mr. Cragham Gaming, dear Lord, I've lost my Rhinox hide. Oh dear, yes. Remy, didn't know about premium stuff. Thanks, man. Yeah, this is the thing that we're trying not to flood with adverts and things like that. It's on the website. Premium membership's £2.99 for a month, and we're just chucking as much content as we can up on the website, but it's all good quality stuff. The premium tutorials are generally between 10 and 30 minutes long, so they're much more in depth than the stuff that we've been putting out on YouTube for free. And a lot of the videos we're putting on YouTube are like a fragment of what you get in the premium video. So we might paint a weapon from one of the models, and that will go up on YouTube, but the whole model will be on the website, and that's the idea behind the premium membership, on top of exclusive battle reports and behind the scenes stuff that we're filming as well. We also have Matthias, the Faithful. Cheers everyone, excited about the release of GW Shadow War Armageddon. Any thoughts or first impressions? Shall we go? Yeah. It's exciting. Necromunda remade. We're running out of time to do stuff.
Yeah, forget that scenery. Come on, that scenery is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So yeah, pre-order, getting some of that soon as well. Straight away, really excited about that. I think it's brilliant because as you know, we're building up to doing this big campaign on the premium section of the website, which is going to follow like a full Tyranid invasion from Genestealer Uprising to completely wiping the planet out. That's what that Zone Mortalis board is about in the mine section. So you've got the Genestealer cult miners, we've got the city board in progress, we've got the desert board in progress, and then along comes that fantastic sort of industrial mechanic and scenery. That's just going to be so much fun. And of course, I am actually excited about the rules as well. I think we can mix some of those games into the actual campaign, so we can step out of the main 40k or out of the Zone Mortalis rule system into kind of small Armageddon games, just Shadow War games. Be brilliant. So excited. 1, 2, 3, 15 boxes of it, I think. Only reasonable.
Yes, it's exciting.
So, yes, excited. Well, we will be covering it, definitely. We'll be having a lot to say about that. Pretty excited about it for me.
Definitely. Adrian's put, do you cover new foreground game, guys? I haven't even seen the new foreground game. If you can put a link in the comments once this has gone through, we'll definitely take a look at it. Walkway's great, but pipe thing not my type. Yep, personal preference as always. Basic miniature painting, started to paint my Khorne Berserkers as Zinch, a lovely Thousand Suns colour. Yep. Okay, let's go on to the next part, which is the weekly community pick, and this week's theme was vehicles. We've all picked our favourite models. As always, there's some brilliant vehicles on there. We're just going to quickly go through the best ones that we chose for ourselves, but it's definitely worth popping over to the Facebook group, joining it, and just basically joining in. You can post up your models each week. You can put up work in progress shots, and you can just chat to everybody else on there. It's quite engaging, isn't it, Rachel?
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's good. No, it's all right.
To say to that?
No, it's fine. Right, let's start with Rachel's pick. This is Clayton Bieber's Eldar Links. Very nice.
Yeah, so I really like this one, basically just because there was sort of a lot going on. It was really tidy, and just scrolling through, it really caught my eye. I mean, as everyone knows, I don't really know loads about painting, but I did like the contrasting. You've sort of got these, beigey, dark colours, and then you've got this really bright blue just standing out. I just thought it was a great paint job, to be honest with you. Really, really cool.
Definitely, it's a really good job. So well done.
That OSL on the beam weapons and stuff.
Yeah, it's really nice. I'm not sure whether that's been airbrushed or hand painted. It looks potentially hand painted.
I thought a lot of the models seem to be airbrushed, but I can't tell about the sort of main blue beam sort of thing. But yeah, again, it was just really creative. I thought a really good way of doing it.
Yeah, it's a striking colour scheme, and he's knocking them out really quickly as well.
And that wraith bone effect is really nice as well. That, bringing in an actual bone sort of texture and colour scheme to it always looks good, I think, as well.
Definitely. Like a brush effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, even just the way he's sort of picked out the light on the other bits of blue, those sort of glowing lights, the way he's done the sort of glow effect around them. Like, yeah. I mean, the more you look at it, the more sort of genius it is, I suppose.
Like all models. One day you'll join us and paint something, Rachel. Let's go on to Spuds. We have
hashtag make Rachel paint.
Hashtag make Rachel paint. Yeah, we could start that. We have Spuds, which was Bruce Lavers, and this is a Whirlwind, Raven Guard Whirlwind. I think it's one of the 30k models.
Yeah, I've always really liked that model anyway. It's like, it is a Whirlwind, but it's got like some special name in front of it. It's like something special Whirlwind.
Scorpio or something, I think. It's probably
yeah. It's like that. I mean, I just really liked the model and the paint job at the same time, and obviously everyone chose before me, so I had to choose something else, and that were really good. So
there's some cracking weathering on it. Yeah, the weathering is insane. I really like it. And there was a few other guys on there that have done some tanks. I know Lord Tattoo put up a World War II tank, and that was cracking.
Yeah.
And there was another one as well. There's definitely some nice weathering on the group that's worth looking at. So that one's a really good one. And Luke, you like Raven Guard, don't you?
Yeah, I will have picked that one as well. He's really improved his painting recently as well. So I know him quite well, and he's done white really nicely on it as well, and got the weathering.
Really clean, nice job.
Improved in the past couple of months. So he's smashing his Raven Guard out at the minute.
Okay, we have Mike. Mike's chosen James from Without a Clue Wargaming channel, Iron Hand Rhino.
Yeah, well, for me with this one, it's all clean and crisp. So like the edges, from what I can see, I can't see any mistakes in the edges. You've got the seamless colour change between the purple to the green, which looks awesome. And then to finish it off, you've got the big glowing floodlights on the front, which really made the model stand out more.
Yeah, definitely. He's done a really good job on that Iron Hand scheme. The Forge World one, he's bought this army and just nailed it in like a week.
Yeah, he's been smashing it.
So he's doing a really good job, and getting quite a lot of work done on those. It's almost on Phil level, isn't it, Phil?
What?
Phil level in terms of getting an army painted in no time at all.
Like, I don't know how I got this reputation.
Nobody has Phil level.
Yeah. I don't know how I got this reputation either.
Paint a model.
So in the last 3 weeks, I've painted one Zone Mortalis door.
Yeah. You built a website instead. And we built a shop. I say built a shop, but we've got a shop now on the website where you can buy merchandise. That's what you've been working on, Phil.
I did build a shop,
yes.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Go on, Phil. Go on.
I was just going to say a shop and t-shirts as well. So and
what else? What other merches
are amazing.
What other merches are then? So there's t-shirts. Is there any more like exotic items on there?
Dog
bandana.
Yeah, dog bandanas.
Yeah. You want the dog bandana?
Oh my god! Can we put a dog bandana? Can we put a dog bandana on Khaleesi and Lola, and then like just bring them into WGO?
Yes.
But that's the very reason I designed them. It's very selfish. It was just for our dogs, really.
There's all sorts. There's
there
mugs.
Is a trucker's cap as well, Spud. So I think you'd look handsome in a trucker's cap. I might put one on order for you.
Yes, fam.
Mr. Craggham has put dice. Yes, we are looking at getting dice. We're just trying to find a decent place for us to get them from. So they're definitely on the way. At the minute, we've got mugs and hats and bags and t-shirts and hoodies, but there will be other stuff on the way. Okay, then what's next? Who hasn't had them? Me and Phil. So Phil's was Andrew Windsor's Charybdis model, which is a huge drop pod.
Yeah, it's ginormous. It's fantastic. Again, love the weathering, love the paint technique on it. It's a big old model as well. Little dude in there for scale. It's just huge. But again, just love how he's worked on that. There's that kind of sort of crackle effect on the bone color, and I was just sold on it. Ginormous one. Also, weirdly enough, what attracted me to it, I thought he'd done a conversion at first because I could kind of see a face on that front face of it. You can see the mouth and the eyes. Yeah. And I thought, wow, it's some kind of crazy conversion. Then realised actually that's what drew my eye to it. But that's just the model, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's missile pods.
It's quite scary.
I just love it. I just absolutely love it. This ginormous drop pod. I want 10 of them, and I don't even have Marines. So, but a great paint scheme.
Yes.
Big models are sometimes difficult to kind of make look effective. At first glance, you've got a big area to work on, and you can kind of find yourself rushing it, and I just can't see any evidence of that. He's really worked on that really well.
Definitely.
Do you know him as well, yeah?
Yeah, it's great, and that marble effect looks really nice.
Yeah.
I don't think it's marble. I thought it was marble, but he said it was something else. I'd have to double check the group, but I'm pretty sure he said it wasn't marble. But either way, it looks amazing. Done a cracking job. So, last one is the one that I chose, which was, this is Moggy's Miniatures on YouTube, his channel is, and he just, the amount of stuff he's pumping out, it's on the same sort of level as James in terms of speed, but I just love his golds, his reds. It's definitely, in my opinion, the best golds and reds I've seen.
Yeah, that is incredible. I also wanted to choose that one as well as the one I chose, but someone let me choose.
I told her she was late, and I chose it.
You use that clear red, but it does it really, really well.
Tammy Clear Red, it's not just
also
that.
wanted to pick Phil's. I just wanted to pick all of them.
Yeah, it's the shading on the red before you put the clear red on it. There's a lot of there's more steps to getting that red effect than just spraying it with Tamiya Clear Red. And if you just spray that with Tamiya Clear Red, it won't look like that. You have to do it properly. And the gold, I asked him last night what his method was for painting the gold, and it's like a 10-step process. So he's definitely nailed it, got it looking great. So really good job on that.
You know what it reminds me of, Sam? When we played EVE Online and there was those, is it the Amar? It's sort of got that kind of feel to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, curved armour and stuff. Yeah, it definitely does look like that.
Yeah, and they were sort of that goldy type of colour as well, weren't they?
Kind of.
It is gorgeous.
Very good. Right.
I'm in love with that as well.
That is community pick. Let's go on to topics. So we've rather than picking them ourselves and just arguing over topics, we decided to ask a lot of people, well, everybody in the community, to come up with topics, and we've got a list of about 20 to 30 different topics. So we're only going to cover as many as we can tonight, which might be 3 or 4. But
29.
29, yeah.
29, right, sorry. We'll try as best. I'm here till 10 and then I'll just collapse after everything's run out in my body. But like, night, guys. I'll even make it to my bed that's there. But like Spud!
Wake up, there's another question. Anything we don't get done, we're going to keep it on the list and we're going to answer in the future. We've got the Friday thing with me and Mike at 8 o'clock. We'll answer some more there, but thank you all for putting some topics in there. We'll start with the first one, which is from John Hopkin. I think I might have spelled that wrong. And his question was, any words of wisdom or suggestions for new players, how to play, what to play, and where to play? So there's quite a bit to cover there. And for himself, he's got a starter set almost painted. So that's the sort of information we're going with. So let's break this down. Let's do let's start with where to play. And we'll start with Phil.
Where to play? Well, I mean, a lot of people that pick up the game usually are introduced to it, aren't they? So they start playing with mates. But that's not all the case, is it? I mean, obviously, I think that's a good place to start playing with mates who are into it. But if you have just wandered into a store and picked a game up, then look for a local gaming club. Look for a local store, either an independent or if you're looking at the Games Workshop products. I only say that because he mentions Age of Sigmar as well. Just get in the store and do a game. I think that's the thing. You just have to, try and, go into. There's always someone looking for a game generally in the stores. I think the other thing is just to, take up that social contract when you're in there as well. So when you get in the right game, when you go in the store, there'll be a few competitive players explaining you're still learning the rules, explain you want a fun game, that kind of thing, and that'll get the right game. So that's a bit of where and what, but
Yeah, we've got a question
Local
later
store.
about pickup games as well, so we'll go into more about the type of games that you play later on. But where to play, local club is definitely a big one.
Yeah.
Where else is the? Let's throw this over to Spud. Where else is that you can go to play games if you're new to the hobby? Because you're getting back into it, aren't you? In terms of 40k and other games. So where would you go?
I went to my local games workshop like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then they just said, "Oh, just ring up and just make sure obviously people were there if you're travelling in." There's like certain like game nights, and this is just best off going on them because there's definitely going to be some people there. And then I just play with mates, but that's what I mean. So I met everybody that I game with outside of Games Workshop at a Games Workshop a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then you just like broaden out. But I like forums and stuff are really good. Like if sometimes like local clubs have like a forum and you can cite like a long time ago I used to use them so I could like meet up with people and have a game like at a local Games Workshop or if they had an actual like unit themselves. So that might be another thing if just Google through.
Yeah, that's the other big one I think is clubs. Because pretty much every town, like you say, every town's got a GW or has one within range. Unless you're in like America or Australia, and it's quite a big drive to get to the nearest area, the nearest shop. But chances are there will be a club somewhere nearby, and even if that just is 5 mates that have just set up a regular gaming night, you might be able to join in on that. So. That's another place of where you can play. So clubs, GW, and friends' houses. I think all of those are definitely areas. Rachel and Mike, any others that you can think of, or have we covered that bit?
No, I think you've covered it.
I think you've covered it. That's how I got into it. Was from my local games workshop. Well, that's where I ended up meeting Sam and everyone in the chat. Going into the store, popped in once just because I'd wanted to do it when I was younger, but then didn't have the patience for it. So I thought, well, now I'm older, I'll go back and I'll give it a go. Mm-hmm. And you'll end up meeting more people through it. Then you've got most places will have a local gaming club as well, so that's another place to check out. Even Facebook, you may find that there's local groups on Facebook, so that's another place that would be worth checking out.
Yep.
So you go and play games.
Okay, awesome.
I think when you decided what you're going to play, how to play and where to play, a large part of that, if you go to a tournament, just sign up to a random tournament and then that you can learn how to. Tournament players are pretty good at showing you how to play, and that also shows you where to play at the tournament, so you can plan your list and all that kind of stuff. That's how I got into it.
You would suggest as a starting player to start a tournament, then, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of tournaments is not just about the top end of the tables. You have the power gamers and stuff, but the lower end of the tables, they literally just go for the social.
I'm going to try.
I'll be honest. I've been to 2 tournaments and I've not actually known the game. I'm not actually. The first one were relics, and I actually won it. I didn't have a clue even what I was doing. I was just rolling dice and I won. And then I know, like Kings of War, a lot of people just turn up and just because it's that easy to learn. Like people have just turned up and I'll be like, "Oh, so how many times you played? Oh, it's my first ever game." Oh.
See, if there's any like GW store managers out there as well, like I used to love it, Sam, when you were a store manager and you'd sort of open the store up on an evening or whatever, and basically anyone could just come along and play games. And it was really casual, really chilled out. A lot of our mates turned up, and that to me actually was really good fun. So yeah, if your local GW store does anything like that, then definitely go to that as well.
That's just in general. Most GW stores are all pretty similar, aren't they? They're all ran by somebody trying to engage with the community and the hobby and get a group of people involved. So as long as you've got a good store like that nearby, then that's a great way to meet new people. I think we've pretty much covered that. In terms of what to play, very quickly, I think for me it's go with either what you enjoy or what your mates are playing. Once you've found where to play, either join in with what other people are playing, or if you really want to play a certain game, find a club that's playing that, or find a group that's playing that, because you've got to play it against other people. This sort of hobby isn't something for yourself. If you want to play games, if you're painting, it doesn't really matter, but in terms of playing, I would stick to that. But anybody got any other ways, any choices, any other advice on what to play?
I'd say this is my view. If you like Skyrim, play Age of Sigmar.
Oh, here we go.
If you like Fallout, play 40k.
All right, so you've nailed those 2 gamer markets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
It's quite a simple solution. If you like your fantasy, you go for Sigmar. If you like your space age, you go for 40k.
Fair
It's
enough.
logical.
It's logic. It's only logical.
But I suppose a large part of it will be if you're interested in like the fluff of the game, or you just literally want to play the game to win, so you don't care about fluff, or it's all dependent on what you enjoy. If you enjoy the fluff part, then you'll go to a certain game that has that kind of background that you're into.
Spud, you've played a few of the sort of other game systems. What are easy pickup games from your perspective?
I know I've just like Kings of War is like the easiest game in the world, because like once you've learnt your army, you know everybody else is pretty much, because it uses like a new system. So like today when I played 40k, like literally we'd not even started the game, right, and my head was just burnt out. Like I'd flicked that many times before, like, so oh my god, my head, I was just like, I do not miss this bit. I got to like turn 3 and my mate was like, you know, you were supposed to be re-rolling like all your wounds, and I'm like, since when? They were like, since turn 1 you picked that rule. I'm like, oh. Like I say, I'm not really competitive anyway, so I won't remember things like that, and obviously I won't really well. But I think like a skirmish game, quite an easy skirmish game, like any of them really. Yeah. I think are pretty easy because you've only got like a low model count, and just go. I suppose if you did 40k on a low model count, and you just learn the basics, and you didn't have special rules and stuff on it, you could. And once you've learned one mechanic of one game, it kind of like you always base around that. Do you know what I mean? Because like I've played other games going, oh, I like 40k, but without that bit in it. Do you know? And
yeah.
So like once you've learned one core game, I think all of them are kind of like fitting together.
Very similar. It's just you've got to learn the individual rules for that game system.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then the last one. It's quite a big one, this one, but how to play. Mike, what would you suggest for new players on how to play?
On how to play. You might want to come back to me on that one.
Okay, Phil and Luke.
How to play. I think Spud touched on something there. Don't do the whole rule set. Usually, a lot of the rule books now come with these basic scenarios that you can work through. So, focus on movement and stuff like that. I think one of the biggest things as well is limit your unit variety. So, if you're taking an army, keep the game small and keep it down to a few units until you've got those, 2 or 3 games that are half an hour long each is much better than going for one game, 1.5 hours long with a whole bunch of units on the board. So kind of learn your units one at a time. So then when it comes to playing a bigger game, I was just playing Eldar, and it was like, yeah, I know how Howling Banshees work. I know how Dark Reapers work, because when I first started, I tried to just limit the amount of units. And by the time you've got 1 or 2 games under the belt, you remember more because you've only really focused on that 1 or 2 units in that game. And for me, that always helps. So you kind of up the complexity each time, Think of it like leveling up. You've just got to get the basics first. But I think if you attack everything at once, show up with a 1,500-point army that you've just got together and go, right, let's play a 3-hour game, the whole thing is just confusing from start to finish. And you get to the end, and to be honest, you don't really remember anything. So keep it small, keep it rapid, multiple small games with small unit count. That's my big advice.
Okay.
I think Phil's right on that, and also building on that, I think it's also
who's got their speakers on?
Pardon?
Someone's got their speakers on.
We've not changed anything, Sam.
No, I've not changed anything.
Got loads of feedback. Never mind.
Okay. Well, I think Phil's right, but it's also who you play. So I've generally found, because I'm trying to learn 40k at the moment, and he's entirely right. If you start with like a small game, small rules, and then you work up. And I know you keep telling me just read the rule book, but for me, I don't learn by just reading something. I learn by actually doing it. But if I'm playing someone who doesn't know my army, for example, I really struggle because I don't know my army. But if I'm like playing you, for example, and you've put the list together for me, you know the army, and you can be like helping me and going, okay, well this model does this, and this is the special ability that does this, and actually sort of trying to not just trying to play a game, but actually trying to teach me at the same time. I find that really helps. So like when you got me into fantasy, for example, you were always really like, we played doubles, and I think that really helped because you'd done the list with me and you could actually tell me what was happening. Whereas if you're playing with someone who's trying to treat it purely as a game, then it just doesn't work because you don't know what you're doing and they do.
Yeah, I think
so I found...
that's a good point actually. In how to play, I enjoy playing doubles more than anything. Like playing a 1v1 game is fun. Playing a 2v2 game is the most fun that I have playing games. And playing 2v2 tournaments when me and Luke went to ours, I had more fun doing that. And not only have you got somebody to rely on in terms of knowing rules, if you don't know all of them, you can kind of confer with each other. But if you lose, you can blame the other person as well, which is even better.
Hey, that's exactly what I would do.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Sam.
You can win best painted trophies as well and rely on your other partner to do it.
Yeah, if you get your mate to paint your army. Yeah, nice one, Luke. Take credit for stuff you don't paint.
But yeah, I think doubles is really good if you are learning to play the game because your partner can always help you with it.
Yes.
I think you have to go in the mentality that you're learning the game, not wanting to win the game. If you're going in and you just want to win, you're not going to really learn. So you have to just go in and play and make sure you're learning from the other person, or pick someone that has a knowledge of that game that you want, and then you can learn that way. I definitely think that's the best way. That's how I don't really like to read rule books the same as Rachel. I just like to learn from someone else that knows how to play the game.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's
the other thing.
Sorry, mate. Go on.
Carry on.
I'll go. That's what, for me, battle reports. Johnson 8 has just commented. I'm just pushing on, Rachel. Johnson 8 has just commented battle reports, which is essentially like watching somebody play the game, isn't it? You can learn from that as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and podcasts as well. You can learn how to play some of the games from some of the podcasts.
Go on, Rachel. Your turn.
Well, no, all I was saying was, I've basically just elaborated on it. If I read a rule book, I mean, you've got, especially if it's complex as 40k, you'll read it and it's going in one ear and out the other. Like, you're just not getting anywhere with it. And it can say, okay, yeah, these guns can do this and these guns can do that, but you're never actually going to remember that in a real... Well, some people will. I can't remember that in a game. I'll have no idea. So for me, I just have to play loads of games until eventually I get the hang of it.
Yeah.
The other one for me is if you're unsure on how to play or how to go about it, is go into your local stores. The managers 9 times out of 10 are going to be more than happy to run you through an intro game, or if you're struggling for rules, they will go over them with you. And you can do that over and over. Other ones would be like for just like the gaming clubs. Just go along to the gaming clubs and watch games being played.
Yep.
That's what I would suggest to do if you're looking how to play.
Okay, right, let's go on to another topic, because we covered that one for quite a while. We'll go on to John Booth, which is what is an appropriate list for a pickup game? So we're going quite a bit on building armies and things, so we might go over this one a bit quicker, but what is an appropriate list for a pickup game, and at what point does it become an unfriendly list? He used a different word, so I changed it to an unfriendly list, and general gaming etiquette as well. So we'll start with what is an appropriate list for a pickup game? For Rachel, what is an appropriate list for a pickup? So if you're just going into the store, how would you say would be what would be an appropriate list for a pickup game?
Anything with Croak, obviously.
Okay, shall we start with gaming etiquette? Gaming etiquette.
Try not to trash talk your opponent. I don't know. Yeah, just be friendly about it. Don't be like, obviously if I'm playing you, we can be totally competitive and mean, but if you're playing someone that you don't know as well, then yeah, just don't. If they forget something, for example, just gonna go back to the last battle report, if they forget a rule and they've missed something that they've done, then maybe you should let them redo that.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Sam,
No, I walked in on that. Yeah, I walked in on that part of the battle report. It was great. It was good fun. Basically, Rachel had forgotten something, and Sam went, "Oh, you can go back and do that. That's fine. Just go back and do that." And then immediately, in Sam's stead, he went, "Oh, I forgot this." And Rachel was like, "Yeah, just move
Too
on."
late.
No, it wasn't even just move on. It was, sorry, you forgot. Let's carry on with the game.
The best excuse was, "We're running out of battery on the camera. We're just going to push on."
Oh.
Win at all costs. Win at all costs.
Yeah, probably best not to ask me for gaming etiquette because I have none.
Yeah, Spud. Any gaming etiquette? Anything else?
I don't. It's really. I'm a proper chill out gamer. I'm not really bothered. See, I know swelling. I'm not really not that bothered about winning. So like, if I went to a tournament and the guy who were in front of me were like, look, I really need to win this game forever. I've been champion. I'd be like, yeah, you can have it, and I'm just going to sit and have a drink somewhere else. It won't really bother me. But I've played one guy once, and we couldn't place top 3 or anything, and they were a proper pencil sharpener. They were just horrible. And he like picking up on little things all the time, and I'm like, it's just so depressing. Like, it's just baba. And I was like, why are you being like this for? Like, I just felt like just getting my stuff and leaving. Like, but I am really for myself. I think if it's a stranger, the straight up like manners, I think, is the main thing. Like, please and thank you, and for myself, I just always help people. That's probably why I'll never ever get in top 10 of anything, because I'm like, oh yeah, you forgot to do them, haven't you? And they're like, oh yeah, but that was last turn. Yeah, I'm not bothered, just do it. But everyone's different. Depends if you are highly competitive, you're not going to probably let someone go back on things. If you're not really that bothered, then you can. So it's a bit tough on that side of things. But I think just basic manners and hygiene have really got good things from a wargamer point of view.
Yeah, that's fair enough. John Snater's put in-store gaming etiquette. Deodorant before playing. It is, people get heated when they're playing games. It is a good thing just to carry some deodorant around with you. I don't really want to go into that one too much because, just make sure you're clean. It's just standard in life, really, more than anything, not just for gaming.
Last tip as well would be, and this is aimed at you, Sam, don't argue over half an inch.
Okay.
Rachel, I think you'll find it was 3.5 inches. but you got a 3-inch charge.
Right, we're not talking about inches. Let's.
I think there's a great rule to apply to this, which is essentially don't be that guy. And if you don't know who that guy is, then you probably are that guy. It's one of those things, isn't it? Although I think we have to be careful here because, where people find enjoyment in the hobby, everybody finds it in different places. I like painted armies, but lots of people will happily play with grey plastic. Probably a good advice in terms of etiquette is to try and identify people who are looking for the same kind of game as you. There are some people who think playing the game is the entertainment. That is the enjoyable bit. Simply playing a game is fun, and they're the ones that kind of see it. The hobby itself is an entertainment in itself, whereas other people definitely are playing it to win. And I think it's okay if your expectations are aligned. So if there's two people who just want to play a game and it doesn't really matter how it goes and it's just a lot of fun and people forget rules and stuff like that, if they're both in that space, then they're both going to enjoy it. Likewise, if there are two people there that are, ultra competitive and absolute rule lawyers, then they're going to enjoy it anyway because that's what they're there to do. There's just two people really, really trying to beat each other. I think where people struggle with the gaming etiquette is when they don't recognise the opponent's need for what is, enjoyment. So when an ultra competitive gamer comes up against someone who just came along for fun, when somebody who just comes along for fun ends up playing against an ultra competitive gamer, you've kind of got to also appreciate what they're looking for. So what I'm saying is find a middle ground. Maybe you get a bit more competitive and take it a bit more serious, and likewise the competitive gamer just tone it down a bit and remember to have a laugh, And I think that's it. Is try and match expectations. Really, try and find the middle ground if you're looking for different things from the game. But I always expected Luke to be a serious competitive game because you're always talking about lists. You're always trawling through the forums and stuff and getting super competitive lists. But we did an Age of Sigmar game, and it descended into anarchy in about one turn in, didn't it? We were just laughing and joking. I mean, we still played the game. It was still competitive, but it's rare that you end up cheering your opponent's dice roll. There was one time where you did this ludicrous save, and I was like, yes! You kind of, go for it. So
I think essentially it says there unfriendly list. I think any list can be unfriendly. It's just how you use the list. You could go in with a really competitive list, but still give your opponent a fun game.
Can you move your
Just
phone?
how you are as a person. Go in and try and make them have as much fun as possible as you can.
Whoever's got the phone near the stuff, just shift it. It's really loud and beeping.
that's Luke.
Luke.
Not me.
He's moved it.
Right, kick him out. Talking about Luke playing games, I've had the opposite with Luke. Luke shouts, screams, slams stuff down on the table, and shouts in my face whenever anything happens.
That was a joke. You just don't like that kind of play.
So my games with Luke are very different to yours, Phil. I think it might be. This is the thing, though. Get the right sort of player. Make sure you know who you're playing against. Because if he did that with somebody else, they might have just punched him and walked away. Because it's me, he knows that that's how we play games, so it's fine. So
I
I
think
don't know,
it's
I
fine
think
for
Luke
everyone
would
else
be
to
good fun to
watch.
play.
Right. Let's go on to another question. The next one, or the next topic, is Kablams from Craig. And he says, do you guys and girls, now because Rachel is here, play any board games? And if you do, and as wargamers, do you tend to play board games with miniatures? So we will start with Spud on this one. Yes.
I'm really paying attention, I'm sorry.
Shall we start with Mike on this one?
Yeah, I'll go for it. Well, see, as a group, we tried D&D before. We'd done a few sessions of it where we weren't using models, but then as soon as we introduced models into it, it became a completely different game then, because you would be when Pink was what's it called, Dungeon Master, he would come up with scenarios where you'd have a board in front of you and there'd be I'm getting lost here, different things to do basically, but having the models there for me made it more enjoyable.
Yeah, it's more visual,
especially with me, because I like to paint models as well, so being able to paint a model and then play it in a game is always a bonus for me.
Definitely. Okay.
I've read the message now. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I think the early game. Well, like I've played a few games. I played like Ticket to Ride, but I literally nearly fell asleep. I played that. Didn't really get it. Monopoly, obviously, the Legends of Legends. I really like Cards of Humanity, but you've got to play it with like selected a few people, or else it's just not that good. Because you're just a bit like curious, or like if you say something really bad, they'll never talk to you again.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not even kidding. My mate over there said to me, "Oh, what, do you want to do Cards of Humanity and film it?" I was like, "Not really. No, I work at a school."
Yeah.
I'd have to be really, really nice all the time. I'd be like, I'll never, like, I know it's not to win that, but I think that's it for like board and card games. I don't really play anything else. I probably do. I just forgot.
Well, the one who loves board games more than anything is Rachel, I think.
Yeah, massively. In fact, that's how you got me into Warhammer. You're like, it's just a board game.
With my
Yeah, no, me, like, I've always been into board games. So when I was a kid, obviously we used to play like Monopoly pretty much every weekend. Yeah, we were that sad. And then I found a friend at school, and me and her would have sleepovers pretty much every weekend, and we'd play different board games. We'd like dig up our dad's old board games sort of thing, and be playing those. Absolutely loved them. And then like even now, like I think maybe a few years ago, I went on eBay and I just bought all the old sort of board games, things like just original Monopoly, Payday, The Game of Life. We bought Zombicide recently as well, Risk. Yeah, everything basically. Love it. Can't beat a good board game. And then even at work, oh my god, I was so happy. Someone at work is also into board games, and he's brought in loads of little ones that you can play at lunchtime. And literally every lunch now we play board games as well. It's amazing.
Yes, so board games.
That's a dice game, isn't it?
No.
What's that, sorry?
No?
No, Zombicide's like it's a board game, isn't it? You're moving dudes around.
All right.
around the
Oh,
board.
Zombicide's amazing. So basically, you're like a survivor, and you reach a certain character, and there's like zombies coming in like waves. It's like a horde game sort of thing, and you've got to survive, and you've got like a certain mission. You have to pick certain things. Really cool.
Rachel loves playing Zombicide because she always picks the character that's got this special reward of slippery, so she can run through tiles that have got zombies on it and not get like grabbed by all the zombies. And what she does, towards the end of the game is she lures you into a false sense of security, thinking that she's going to back you up, and you go into a room to try and save the team and do the mission, and Rachel will be right behind you. You know, it's going to be absolutely fine. As soon as you open that door and walk in, she's legged it and she just leaves you. All the zombies then kill me. It's fine because Rachel's won the game and she's alive. So playing Zombicide with Rachel is an experience, but it's not one that you would want to repeat unless you've got
After
other
playing
people.
Zombicide with me, Sam basically said that if there was a real zombie invasion, he's just going to leave me, and I can't say I blame him.
Yeah. We're gone. But board games, yeah.
I'd be like shooting you in the kneecaps, just like, bye.
Have you played X-Wing?
No, I haven't played it.
yeah,
What's
yeah.
that like?
That's an awesome game.
It's really good, but unless you don't get the dial wrong every single time, and I wasn't, and I'd not been drinking, I would like put it down and be like, oh yeah, I'm off. Oh, I don't mean to go that way. I wanted to go that way. Like literally, like the entire game. Rachel's what I'm on about, but you've got to like choose which way you're going on your ship, and you do not show your opponent. So then when it's your turn, you turn your counter over, and you can even go left, right, or straight. And obviously, I'll be like, oh well, I'm gonna go right. But then I put it, and then when I turn it over, I've gone, oh no, because it's like which way you angle your ships.
Into
like,
an asteroid.
and yeah, straight into an asteroid onto my own ship. I'm like, I'm rubber. And plus, I'm not a strong like. I don't really know what's good in Star Wars. So, like, I had this Millennium Falcon thing with that big furry Chewbacca driving it or whatever. And I was just all battle report just doing the Chewbacca sound. I thought, this is sick. Like, that's I am Star Wars.
That does sound
Games
amazing.
Workshop, they're smashing out some very good board games. If you actually get to play them, they're actually really good games.
I cannot wait to play Silver Tower. I think that's going to be so good.
Like God Chosen and all them kind of games.
Sam, have you painted the models yet for Silver Tower? You got those
Good
done?
question, Phil.
Yeah, you know what? I have only got so much time in the day, and I'm spending, as you know, until 4 and 5 in the morning doing editing or painting armies for other people, or coming up with something else.
I didn't realise that was a joke.
It's
super serious, Sam. I'm never. Go on, Phil.
Is the resolution of my camera good enough to pick up this tiny violin?
Why does it always descend towards the end of the show into bullying me? Like, what is it?
Bullying and spoiler alerts.
We've got some comments here. Johnson Hater said Payday's a classic. Does anybody know what Payday is?
Yeah, okay, so Payday is the one that I played as a kid.
Right.
Okay, so you've got this calendar, and you essentially go through, and you there's like different things that happen, and you draw different cards, and you get to like the end of the month, then you get a payday, and then you go back to the start of the month, and you basically just keep playing over and over and over again.
Basically life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with fake job and fake money.
So if you like Payday, you'll love Game of Life as well. Like they're both very similar.
I thought you were going to say you love life. If you love Payday, you'll love life.
Yeah, you love Payday. You love Payday for like a day, and then you've got no money left, and then for the 29 other days you just struggle.
That's
all you have to do.
The game.
Oh, okay. Sounds great.
Game of Life is your favourite, though, isn't it, Rach?
That is a classic. That's amazing. But yeah, if you like Payday, you'll love Game of Life as well. Mastered that game, both of them.
We've got a couple of comments here on Lost Patrol as well. Has anybody played that yet? That's the one with the hexagonal tile system, isn't it? It's meant to be really, really tough.
Gene Stealers and Scouts.
Yeah, McCraggan's saying actually there were some new rules in White Dwarf.
McCraggan.
Makes it better to play.
Mr. Craggan.
What about Blood Bowl? Does that count as board game?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right, that's my favourite then. There you go.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I had a game of that recently. I loved it. It was my first game at it.
I watched it today after like so many years. There was 2 lads playing it, and they didn't really. They were all right. They didn't kind of knew what they were doing, but obviously these were like proper years ago when I played it. And I was like, kind of telling them what to do in the game. It was so funny. Like, no, you don't want to do that. That was just silly. So if you do that, you're just going to get hit by that rogue, right? Yeah. Oh yeah. I was helping both of them though, and I said to the orc player, like, just get the ball, form a cage, and just walk forward. And he did, and he won. Like, yes, tactics, boys.
Brilliant
I
stuff.
suppose you could class Kings of War as a board game because you could just literally play that with trays.
Yeah.
Oh, you can play Warhammer 40k with coffee cups, can't you, Luke?
Yes.
No, stuff you can't.
Singers man.
Or a box or a stapler, whatever you find, really.
Yeah.
Anything's a board game. Just get some stones.
Have you ever played Condiment Wars?
Oh, we heard about it though. Tomato sauce and brown sauce.
Yeah, I invented it within 30 seconds at Warhammer World while inebriated. It were amazing.
Extra wounds on mayonnaise. It sounds good.
Yeah, and you'll have to use pennies and some any condiments you want, and I'll just invent rules.
That sounds like my kind of game.
I'll bring it next time. Oh, I don't even have to bring it because everyone's got condiments. Yes.
Yeah, we got you covered.
Right, we'll do one last part to the show and then we'll wrap up because we're coming towards an hour, if not an hour, with the 5-minute countdown at the beginning. James from Without a Clue Wargaming has asked, what would you be in the Age of Sigmar universe? So we can do this one of two ways. We can either decide what we would be ourselves, or we can decide what each other would be. What do you want to do?
Oh, each other. As long as somebody picks Magnus for me.
Age of Sigmar. I know
Jagatai
Magnus
Khan
is in. No, Age of Sigmar. And if you say Jagatai Khan again, I'm muted you. What people don't know is Luke says this for at least 100 times a day at the top of his voice, and he'll join Hangouts and just shout it and then leave, or he'll join and say it 3 or 4 times.
That's the only one you're allowed, okay? That's the only one you're allowed.
Any more?
No more.
Figure out.
Let's pick Age of Sigmar characters for each other then.
Let's start with, let's decide between us what Age of Sigmar character or race Rachel would belong to.
High elves.
No.
Right, we've got an elf. And then any particular job or profession.
Magic.
It's gotta be magic.
So that was pretty straightforward. Rachel would be a high elf wizard.
Alariel.
Alariel. She's a wood elf, I think.
She's a bit hench for you, I think.
She's a wood elf.
Thanks, Luke.
She's good at football, though.
She's good at football. She's got Sarah. I did a Photoshop job of her kicking a football.
That's almost as bad as the Logan Grimnar with some reindeer and his sleigh riding off into the sunset. Okay, that was pretty
I want to
straightforward.
take high elf magic though. That sounds good to me.
So you want to be wood elf spellweaver with high elf magic? That's fine.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Rachel's a power gamer, so she'd be more like a witch elf.
And should be riding a
Or
phoenix.
that, yeah. Yes, always. Or a griffin. I'm not picky. Or a dragon.
Okay, what would Mike be?
A pirate.
A clamor.
It's pirate.
It's gotta be a clan rat. There's no other choice, is there?
What about a clan rat pirate?
A clan rat pirate, yeah.
Who does battle reports?
A really cool one as well.
Battle
One that
report,
didn't-
Mike.
Battle
Like-
report, Mike.
Is a clam rat slowly forming into a hell pit?
That's brutal. Oh, don't worry, we'll get around to you, Luke. Spud, what would Spud be?
I don't know the name of it, but that dude that came in the silver tower box, the big thermagurg man.
The Thaumaturge, the one that I can't pronounce.
Thaumaturge.
So he
Yeah.
would be a giant, or maybe, yeah, I think along that sort of line, like a Minotaur.
Yeah, I've
Yes.
seen this like a big warrior
A doom
type
ball.
thing.
A Doom Ball. Wow. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Tank.
I'm going to say
like it.
Doom Ball. But a Viking Doom Ball, so he's going to have like a massive beard, like dead long hair, and just Viking axes. So there we go, Doom
I
Ball.
think that's what.
Haven't they already got massive beards?
What?
I think that's why I was going with the Thermaturge, because it's got like those Viking horns, hasn't it?
Oh, that's
what
true,
I-
actually. But I don't think Spud would cast spells. I think he'd just hit stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
he'd
don't have to. I don't have to
an
cast.
axe. He'd have like a massive battle axe.
Just hit stuff with his staff.
Yeah. Pick throat stuff away. We'll change it out.
Okay, awesome. Phil, what would Phil be? Some sort of tinkerer.
He'd be like that wizard on top of the.
Dwarf Engineer is one of the.
I was going to say dwarf.
Yeah, I was going to say dwarf, but I didn't know how to.
There we go, dwarf engineer then. I think you would be that dwarf engineer that you liked from the Silver Tower unboxing, wouldn't you, Phil?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Big deal.
Chainsaw that he's floating with his the ball things.
The Baron Harkonnen. No, definitely one from the Silver Tower box, and then I can hang around with Spud as well. So that's all right. Works out fine.
Very good. Frost and Fists, I think Mythos has said poor Sam. I don't know why. Is it because we're about to find out which degrading...
It's because Steve said you'd either be a giant or a zombie.
Yeah, he'd say that. Because of my always strikes last. Let's go to Luke before we start bullying me one more time. Luke, what would you be? Well, we're not going to ask you. We're going to tell you what you'll be.
Well, it's a tricky one, isn't it, with Luke?
I'd be like that Conan out of Silver Tower.
I think it's got to be,
That's too macho for you.
Goblin Fanatic.
Yeah, it'd be something a little bit like crazy.
Yeah.
Squig herder. It'd be a squig
squig.
herder.
Squig.
Yes, so unpredictable.
He'd be a fanatic riding a squig.
It just is a squig. It's just a squig.
I like you being on this, Luke. You can get bullied more than me. Okay, and then what would I be?
Gut rot spew.
Gut rot spew. Right, nice.
Is there any takers on that? Any better offers than Gut Rot Spew?
It's Chewbacca in AOS.
I can't do the Chewbacca noise. I can only do a Murloc.
Nice one, Spud. Nice one. Beautiful. So basically,
that is quality.
Sam, you
Wait,
would
we
be-
need to hear that again. One more time, Spud.
Oh yeah. No pressure. I can't do it now.
So Gut Rot
You
Spew. Is that it?
Well, I think we got it. You're Chewbacca. You just showed up to the wrong game.
Brilliant
Oh,
stuff.
come on.
Okay.
Maybe like an oracle or something, because you're always angry.
I'm not
Yeah.
angry.
At the end of the
Mike said this on Friday. He said I would be angry.
Let's have a joke with the big great axe thing.
No, it's an oracle. What's the war boss called? The big one.
Mega Boss.
The mega boss. There you go.
There we
Just
go.
an oracle mega boss.
Fair enough. We'll take that. That's better than Chewbacca. Maybe
That would
when
be
we get to Star Wars, which character would you be? I don't need to ask, do I? Okay, so that is another week of live chat from all of us. Thanks to everybody who has joined us in the chat and who has commented. It's been absolutely amazing, as always. Thanks to everybody who has subscribed to the channel. We're almost at 500, which is pretty unbelievable, really. We're almost just over a month in, and we're almost at 500 subscribers. So we're going to keep doing what we can to make good content for people. If you let us know what you want to see, more battle reports, more painting tutorials, more chats, just let us know. You can send us messages through the website. There is a form on the website, isn't there, Phil, which you are really excited about?
There is, yes. If you go to the website, there's a community tab, and if you hit that and drop down, there's a couple of forms there where there's Ask WGO, where they can just ask a question to any of the team or all the team. And I think also there's a suggestion box as well. So if you want to make suggestions over what videos you want us to do, or any armies to fight against each other in battle reports and all the rest, that's cool. That's also where you find the events tab as well. And the featured event for next month, of course, is ChillCon.
Mm-hmm.
So don't forget to check that out. And there's a link through to the ChillCon website as well from that event.
Brilliant stuff.
And you can make a membership while an account.
Well, there is, yeah. So you can make a free account on the website if you haven't done one already. I think we should talk about this more because nobody knows about the website, do they? We just do it with YouTube. We've got a website. It's wargameronline.com. If you head over to there, you can make a free account. There we go. Mike's doing the t-shirt thing. Head over to the website, make an account for free. It will give you more content for free. And then if you want to, you can pay a premium membership of £2.99 a month, and that will give you access to a lot of content. Loads of tutorials, premium tutorials, and lots more that's coming along. So definitely join on board with that one. It helps us. It keeps us like producing content. Keeps me up at 5 o'clock in the morning making more and more tutorials. So yeah, thank you to Rachel, Phil, Mike, Spud, and Luke for joining us this evening. Luke's gonna be an absolute gent and drive over to mine and drop off some pigments now. So because he's such a wonderful guy, aren't you, Luke?
Broken turd.
He's not saying anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Awesome. Cheers. And that's pretty much it. If you've got any comments, any questions you want us to answer, if you've got any questions for us, like I say, use that form. But like the video if you haven't already liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And we're going to see you all next week. What are you guys laughing at now?
Nothing at all. Bye.
Bye.
See you later, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.
End credits, Sam.
Credits.
End credits.